Here is the question sitting underneath every single conversation about AI, the one that actually keeps people up at night. Is it going to take my job? And you will hear two confident answers thrown around. Yes, it takes everything. Mass unemployment is coming. Brace yourself. And no, relax. It just helps everyone. There is nothing at all to worry about. Both of those are far too simple, and you now have exactly the understanding needed to see why. Because the honest answer is not yes, and it is not no. It is that AI does not really come for jobs at all. It comes for tasks. And that one small shift in how you frame it changes absolutely everything about how you should think about your future. Here is the key move that almost nobody makes. We talk about a job as if it is one single, solid thing that either can or cannot be automated. But no job is one thing. Every job is a bundle of many different tasks. A doctor does not just diagnose illnesses. They also comfort frightened patients, coordinate with colleagues, keep up with new research, wade through paperwork, and make hard judgment calls under real uncertainty. A teacher delivers lessons, yes, but also mentors, grades, plans, manages a room full of actual children, and inspires them. Take any job at all, anywhere in the world, and crack it open and outspill a dozen distinct different tasks. And this is the whole point. AI does not sweep in and do all of them. It is wildly different at different ones. So let's sort those tiles into lanes. Some tasks AI can genuinely automate, the routine, repetitive, easily described ones. Drafting a standard email, summarizing a long document, transcribing notes, churning out boilerplate code. These it can largely take. Then at the other extreme, some tasks AI cannot really touch at all, the deeply human ones. Earning someone's trust, making a hard ethical call, taking real responsibility when things go wrong, physical presence, genuine care for another person. But here is what matters most. The biggest group by far is neither of those. It is the middle lane. Tasks where AI does not replace you, it augments you, acting like a tireless assistant that drafts, suggests, checks, and speeds you up, while you stay in the chair, steering and deciding. For most jobs, most of the tiles land right there in that middle. And here is what actually happens to a job, and it is not deletion, it is reshaping. The automatable tiles get handed off to the AI. That frees up time and attention and energy, and all of it flows into the human and the augmented tiles, the parts that need judgment, relationships, creativity, and care. The doctor spends less time fighting paperwork and more time actually with patients. The job does not vanish. It recomposes into a new shape with AI threaded through it. Some jobs will shrink. Some will grow. And entirely new jobs appear that did not exist before, in exactly the way the internet wiped out some roles while creating millions that nobody back then could have begun to imagine. Reshaping, not simply erasing. So what does the actual evidence say right now, beyond all the speculation? Large-scale studies of how people genuinely use AI at work point the same way. So far, more of it is augmentation, people working alongside the AI than wholesale automation, though that balance does shift by field, and some areas like routine software work are tilting further toward automation. Projections for the next several years tend to land on net job growth overall, with many millions of new roles created even as others are displaced. And as of now, there is no clear sign of broad, economy-wide job loss. Now, these are projections, not prophecies. They are uncertain, and they will keep changing as the technology moves. But the consistent pattern underneath them all is reshaping and shifting, not a sudden cliff. But here is the part you can actually act on, and it might be the most important sentence in this entire series. The real divide of the next decade is probably not human versus AI. It is people who know how to use AI well versus people who do not. The pattern showing up almost everywhere is this. AI tends to substitute for routine, entry-level, easily codified work, and to complement and amplify the people with deep experience and judgment, the person who knows which question to ask, which answer to actually trust, and the precise moment the machine is confidently wrong. So the real threat was never quite a robot taking your job. It is a person using AI well doing the part of your job that you did not adapt to. And honestly, that is good news, because unlike a robot apocalypse, that is a choice that sits entirely within your control. So what do you actually do with all of this? Do not try to outcompute the machine at the things it is brilliant at: raw recall, raw speed, endless boilerplate. You will lose that race, and the wonderful thing is you do not need to win it. Instead, lean hard into what stays distinctly yours: judgment, taste, asking the right question in the first place, understanding people, taking responsibility, deciding what is even worth doing. And learn to drive these tools genuinely well, which, by the way, you are now far better equipped to do than almost anyone, because you do not just poke at buttons hoping for magic. You understand what is happening underneath the surface. And that, right there, is the entire reason we did this. Not so that you would be afraid of AI, so that you would be in command of it. So let's bring the whole season home. We started with a simple map, sorting the buzzwords. Then we found the one tiny thing at the heart of it all: a machine predicting the next token over and over in a loop. We turned words into tokens, tokens into points in a space of meaning, and let attention reshape that meaning with context. We wrote a single vector up through billions of frozen weights, watched pure random noise teach itself the structure of the world through training, and saw it shaped from a rambling text predictor into a genuinely helpful assistant, and then taught to reason. We met its real limits, the leaky memory, the confident hallucinations, and we learned to aim it well and to judge the hype honestly in both directions. And here is the truth you get to carry out of all of it: AI is not magic, and it is not a mind. It is a stunningly powerful pattern machine, built by people with real strengths and real limits, and now you understand it from the inside out. It is not something happening to you anymore. It is a tool, in your hands. Now go build something with it.